is counseling confidential and private? So yes, 95% of the time. There's a few exceptions, just because in Texas, counselors are mandated reporters. So what that means is we have a few exceptions to the rule. So if we have a client who's in imminent danger to themselves or somebody else, we have to take action. If we have been told any kind of abuse or neglect is going on, whether or not we believe it, we are required to report that. And then the third situation would be in the event of any kind of legal cases happening and we get a subpoena, legally we're required to respond. However, legal cases get a little bit messy. Counselors don't want to be involved in them. Most of the time, we do not want to testify. We do not want to hand over notes. We usually fight our hardest to get out of that and to preserve the integrity of our therapy and our therapeutic relationship. So that can get a little messy usually, but your counselor likely will do everything they can not to have to share any information. I know there's a difference between, counselors and what legally is going on and what they want and what they need. It's just really, really hard. I've had many of cases where I've been to court and had to testify either for or against a client, and it's really hard to maintain the therapeutic relationship after that. I mean, in the event that your personal notes are released and, required to be shared to a judge, to a courtroom full of people, it's just not helpful to therapy, maybe whatever the legal issue is, but to therapy and the therapeutic relationship, that's not something that helps us out. And so typically, while there's a legal situation happening, your counselor is probably going to do everything they can to not be engaged in that. So like for an example, in our office, we do not do custody battles. If someone calls in and says, I'm bringing my kid in because I'm going through a divorce and we're going to court, we will not see them, because we've had many of times where kid notes have been subpoenaed and cause all kinds of issues, or we have to go and testify. And that can cause issues, in our therapeutic relationships. So we just do everything we can to stay out of legal issues. And a lot of counselors have that in their informed consent. A lot of them do not want to be involved in that side. Our side is the healing side. We want to help. We want to, do everything we can to support people. And so that's where our focus is. Now, you can always sign a release of information. A lot of times we have people do that for their PCPs or pediatricians, because we like to talk to them if we can, and have a team approach to working with our clients. So we will have them do that quite a bit if we can, and we'll reach out to the medical professionals so we can all work together. But other than that, pretty much there's not a reason that confidentiality should be shared or broken. Even say, for example, if you see your counselor out in public, they probably won't even acknowledge you or speak to you. That's what I tell my people. If I see you, at Walmart, I'm gonna ignore you, simply because that's confidential. And I don't want somebody to see me talking to you and automatically know, oh, that's your therapist. So I will not approach them. I'm more than happy to speak to them if they want to talk to me, though. That just has to be, their decision to do something like that. Also, we cannot have any kind of relationship with our clients outside of the office. So what that means is we cannot be friends on social media. We cannot attend events. It's really hard, especially when your client has something exciting and happy going on. Maybe they're graduating high school and they want you to come. As much as we'd love to be involved in that kind of stuff, we cannot. And that's again, back to the confidentiality. We have to keep it separate. And everything that we do has to pretty much be contained to our office and that relationship that we have. And so that is the whole goal right there, is the confidentiality, the privacy, and keeping the trust and the safety of counseling.